In this video, I'm going to show you two extremely rare versions of the popular Takuma 55mm series of lenses. Amongst serious collectors of Takumas, these two 55s have an almost mythological status. I've recently had the opportunity to take a hands-on look at both these lenses. The preset, courtesy of a kind gentleman in Europe, and the f1.9 was an incredibly lucky find I stumbled upon. I thought it'd be interesting for you if I spotlighted the lenses in the flesh, so to speak, with their original cameras, also very rare gear, and include a review of the optical performance of each lens on digital cameras. Takuma 55mm lenses were made between 1958 and 1975 and went through a series of design iterations in mechanics, functions, and coatings. The lenses were sold in large quantities around the world, in the millions, at a time when the Asahi optical company had a leading market share in SLR cameras. I'll call the company AOC from now on for simplicity. The lenses were thoroughly enjoyed and respected by keen photographers in the film era, and they are still excellent performers today when you adapt them to digital cameras. The main lenses were the f1.8 and f2, but there are some other less common Takuma versions, including a preset 55 f2.2 made in 1957, so just before the f1.8 I'm featuring in this video. Then there's the Zebra f1.8 with its cocking lever, originally sold with the Pentax K camera around 1959, and the f2 and the f2.2, also with cocking levers, made in the early 1960s in slightly different body styles. The two lenses in this video are much rarer than all the other 55s. They were only made in small numbers, and as a result, they're considerably harder to find and much less well known. They seldom feature in postings or reviews online. It's a big gap if you're interested in Takuma lenses. So to start off with, here's the Takuma 55 f1.8 preset. It's the very first version of the Takuma f1.8s. According to the definitive Asahi Pentax's Collector's Guide, probably less than 1,000 of these lenses were manufactured, so it's one of the rarer Pentax lenses. Very occasionally, you see the lens come up for sale at premium prices. Over the past few years, I've only personally seen 4 of these lenses on eBay, and each time I've not been willing to pay the price they fetch. I was very fortunate when someone contacted me privately about this particular lens, and I can show it to you now. The preset design was used for the first lenses sold with AOC's new M42 mount SLR camera, launched in 1958, branded Pentax and now commonly known as the AP. The AP was the first Japanese SLR with an eye-level viewfinder using a pentaprism, a new approach for Japanese makers. The camera's standard lens was a preset Takuma 58 f2.4, a lens adapted straight from the earlier preset lenses made for Asahi Flex cameras with M37 mounts. The 55 f1.8 preset was developed to replace the 58mm lens, and from 1958 it became the standard lens for Pentax M42 cameras. It remained in production in various versions until 1975, a testament to the success of the original design. And right up to the present day, some users think it's a better all-round lens than the famous Takuma 50 f1.4. Here's a lens sitting on a contemporary and rare Pentax S camera, a camera that appeared very briefly after the AP and before the more common K, a camera we'll see later. Both the camera and lens were beautifully engineered and made, and they feel as solid as they were the day they were made. This was gear that most owners were proud to look after carefully. The lens has a Gaussian optical design with 6 elements in 5 groups, a configuration that AOC decided to adopt after they'd experimented with Tessar, Sonar, and Helia type designs. There are 10 aperture blades and limited coatings, features that were to change in later versions. With the preset mechanism, one ring is used to set the f-stop you want to use, and a second clickless ring is used to move the aperture blades from wide open down to your chosen preset f-stop. This means you can focus the lens wide open with maximum light and then quickly and easily move the ring to stop down. I rather like this arrangement, especially the clickless aperture ring. Physically, it's a very cute little lens, weighing around 165 grams, and while it's small and light, its performance certainly packed a punch when it was launched. And it still does now, even on powerful modern digital cameras. The lens has all the characteristics you'd expect from a Gaussian Ultron design. It's capable of sharp results, right from wide open, with lovely smooth bokeh, where there's not much going on in the background. Because the lens only has basic coatings, it can produce dreamy and painterly images wide open in bright light, with some quite strong color contrasts. It can deliver very nice bokeh bubbles, and the 10 blades help to keep those bubbles interesting as you stop down. And when you stop right down, you can produce large starbursts. The flares can be interesting. I like these parallel lines going across the frame in this shot. Stop down, the lens can be impressively contrasty and colourful, especially on blue sky days. Soon after AOC released the preset Takuma 55 lenses, they switched to a new lens design, the same optical formula, but a different mechanism to support wide-open focusing and stop-down shots. The new f1.8 version was called an Auto-Takumar, and it appeared in a rather glamorous zebra style on the new Pentax K camera. The first Auto-Takumars had the same 6 elements in 5 groups design and 10 aperture blades. The lenses had what's called an iris opening lever or cocking lever instead of the 2 aperture rings. You choose the f-stop you want and then pull the lever across to open up the aperture blades so you can focus wide open in the maximum light. When you're ready, press the shutter button and the camera automatically fires the blades shut to the f-stop you've chosen. This zebra style and lens design brings us nicely onto the second, very elusive Takuma 55, another zebra style lens. This zebra style and lens design brings us nicely onto the second, very elusive Takuma 55, another zebra style lens. It's the Auto-Takumar 55 f1.9. Yes, that's right, the 1.9, not the 1.8. Approximately 20 to 25,000 Zebra f1.8s were made, and the lens appears regularly for sale online. However, the f1.9 seldom makes a personal appearance, online or in books. Even in the definitive Asahi Pentax guide, it only appears as a footnote, without any photos. I've never seen one of the f1.9 lenses for sale online, and I've been looking for a long time. It might well have slipped through my net, faster than the fastest 50, but I've never personally seen one. The lens was sold in America from 1959 by Sears, Roebuck & Co. It came with the camera Sears branded the Tower 29. It was a rebranded version of the Pentax K. AOC actually made 5 Tower cameras for Sears, 3 older style Asahi Flex cameras, the Tower 22, 23, and 24, and 2 of the new style cameras, the Tower 26, a rebranded AP camera, and a Tower 29, a rebranded K camera. With an incredible piece of luck, I managed to pick up both the Tower 26 and 29 at the same auction in Europe for bargain prices. The Tower 26, with a Takuma 58 f2.4 lens, does come up for sale reasonably regularly. Here's one for sale at the time of posting this video. But as I've already mentioned, I've never personally seen a Takuma f1.9, nor the Tower 29, for sale in Europe or the US. Anyway, here's my Tower 29 camera with its lens, and what a lovely piece of kit it is. The cameras and lenses were so finely engineered. As you can see, the lens looks identical to the Takuma f1.8, except for the f1.9 replacing f1.8 on the front nameplate. The best guess is that the f1.9 is indeed exactly the same lens as the f1.8, and only the nameplate has been changed to a slightly lower f-stop to differentiate the Sears product from AOC's own brand gear. The f1.9 produces lovely results wide open, close up, in bright light, vintage sharp, and full of character. Like the Takuma preset, the bokeh highlights and bubbles are gorgeous, especially after you do a little careful post-processing. Stop down. It's impressive for a 67-year-old lens. It's colourful and quite contrasty. The main downside is if you're photographing in very strong sunlight, the lack of serious coatings does become an issue. As you can see with this straight out of camera photo, the bright light on the side of Chiswick House is not very well handled. Nevertheless, overall, it's a fine lens and a joy to use for colour and black and white photography. So that's my hands-on look at two extremely rare Takuma 55mm lenses. There's a saying that you can wait for a bus to arrive for ages, and then two come along at the same time. And this is what happened to me with these lenses. It's been an absolute privilege to be able to handle them at last and show them to you today. By the way, if you're interested in learning more about the early Pentax cameras and Takuma lenses, then I found these four publications to be a very useful source of information and also guides to using the gear, with more details than you can normally find online. And if you'd like to learn more about the different, more common Takuma 55 lenses, then I've listed a link to my YouTube video on the lenses in the description below. That video was produced before I got hold of the rarest lenses. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Any comments, likes and subscriptions are most welcome. And until the next time, all the best.